Sam Logue here for Green Blood Boxing. Delighted to be joined by the wizard himself, Jake Hanney. Jake, how are you, my friend?
Good, Sam. Yeah, really good.
Feeling good?
Feeling good. Feeling really strong, good, and feeling fit. You know.
I tell you what, I watched the last bit of sparring there between you and Martin, and you're out looking really sharp. Obviously now you're coming into the last couple of weeks before you fight on the 26th of June in Alicante, Spain. You've had a long time out of the ring, but you're looking really sharp. So just talk to me about your preparations for the fight and generally how you're feeling, and not just in the ring, but how you're feeling in your life now in general.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm probably feeling the best I've felt as a professional, I'd say, since I come home. You know, since I come home from Australia, I'd say 5 or 6 years ago. This is the best I've felt. The preparations for this fight has been brilliant. I'm up here in Crumlin now with Phil Sutcliffe, and Phil knows me since I'm probably 11 years old, coming through the amateurs. I boxed a lot of lads out of Phil's gym. He coached a lot of Ireland teams that I was on, and he knows me better than anybody probably through boxing, you know. So the way he's working with me at the minute has been brilliant, and the way he's bringing me on, progressing me, it's been second to none. You know, he's a master of his craft, and this is the best I've felt, really. You know, and just can't say anymore.
Unbelievable, man. It's great to hear. You're one of those characters that we've heard about in Irish boxing, that, you know, Jake Hanney, super talented, really good fighter, but maybe at times dedication maybe has lacked, maybe been in and out of the gym. You were saying to me off camera that this is the most you've trained for a professional bout. Of course, you're 5-2, which we'll come on to as well, some of them fights. But yeah, it's an interesting story. Talk to me about being here with Phil. Obviously, you just gave him a lot of some really good praise there, but talk to me about kind of how massive of a coach he is and what he's adding to your game, and maybe how that also affects your mindset now going forward in your career.
Yeah, since I came to the club, it's been training's top quality. You know, you can see the minute you start working with Phil, the pads, the little movements. You know, you know how good of a coach he is. I never actually knew how good of a coach Phil was, to be honest, until I came to the gym. You know, and I can see why he's had professionals before me, and he's brought really them from nothing to winning titles. You know, like so I just find he's bringing the best out of me. You know, I sort of been getting me Mojo back as such. You know what I mean? Yeah. I find my confidence is growing again, and I haven't really felt as good or mentally as good or as happy training as I have since I was probably an amateur, you know. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm down the gym every night, every morning as well when I can, when I'm not walking, which is something that I've never really done, you know. And that's being honest, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped boxing, you know. I think it's 2019, the last fight. That's one of the reasons I stopped. Yeah. One of the reasons I stopped boxing was because I never did myself any justice, you know. I pulled the rug from under myself in all my camps, you know. I never really gave myself a fighting chance. I always had sort of serious fights and against good lads. I never really had any warm-up fights, but they're always close fights. Some people thought I won a couple of fights. They're close fights, but I never really gave myself a winning chance because you can't cheat the graft, you know. You can't cheat, and that's what I'm learning now, you know. And that's what putting the work in now, and I'm feeling great, you know. And that's the way it is. Yeah.
So that's interesting that you've touched on already. It was going to be one of my main questions. Was you obviously you've had a few breaks, but you've been out for the last 2 years. It's going to be, by the time you fight, it's going to be, I looked at it earlier on, it's like 2 years and 3 months or something like that. The last fight was also Victor RABEI, which is, you fought TYRONE McKenna, then you took 2 years off, then you fought Victor RABEI. So, you know, you're going from really hard fight to really hard fight there. But talk to me, I suppose, about the reason for the break, especially the last one there since Victor, and then we'll touch back on the fights themselves.
After the last fight, I watched the fight. I was really disappointed. I'll be honest with you. I was gutted, like, you know. Yeah. But after that fight, I looked back at it the next day because there was a bit of mixed opinions. You know, there was some people saying I won, there was some people saying he won. So I was mixed opinions. So what I did was watch the fight back. On the night, I was disappointed in myself, my own performance. You know, I thought I'd done enough to shade it, definitely, but I wasn't happy because the way I boxed, you know. And the next day, I woke up. I probably watched the fight 2 or 3 times, and I said to myself, I was embarrassed. You know, that's the God's honest truth. And I looked at myself. I had a good think to myself, and I says, if I can't commit to boxing and put the time in and do right by myself, really. Yeah. What's the point, you know? Because I'm just upset getting these fights. No offense to anybody, but it was a close fight, and I didn't train, like, you know. I think if I had been even in the camp, if I'd done this sort of camp then things have been different, but who knows. But that's one of the reasons why I stopped, and it's been a long break, because I knew I couldn't commit to the training, and I wasn't going to do myself any more injustice and embarrass myself, because that's how I felt after seeing that performance. Embarrassed, falling in, sluggish, no zapping me punches. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is that me? Like, is that what I look like? I'm like, hang them up, love, But and that's the main reason. But I never lost the love for the game. I always wanted to fight, but I knew I wasn't going to. At the time, I wasn't prepared to put the time in and do the work that needs to be done to be a top level boxer. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the truth about it. I was in college and I was working, and I want to finish college, and I'm working. But I'm back now. I've always wanted to come back, and there was my missus that gave me a push. Says, like, your college is finished now. You're in a good place. You're happy. I know you still have a bit in you. You still have unfinished business as such, and I owe myself a little bit of justice. So that's the main reason why I come back.
Brilliant, man. Class. It's a good story. It's a good kind of a redemption story now. To, I suppose, that you have to kind of try and come in now and see how far you can go. It's I'm interested in, you're obviously working full time. I assume anyway. I'm not sure exactly what you do. You can tell me if you want to. But you're also trying to balance that now with training as full time as possible. Yeah. Talk to me about the difficulties of doing that.
I was working. I worked throughout my whole life. I was working the last fight for Victor's fight as well. The job I was in, I'm in construction. I was in the construction. It's hard. But that stage in my career, I didn't really. I was probably boxing that fight, but I wasn't boxing for the title. I wasn't boxing. I was in boxing for other reasons. I wasn't. It wasn't the way I feel now. It wasn't for the love of the game. So when I was working back then, I'd be coming home from work. I'd be saying, I won't go out there. I was trying to tell at the time, Eddie and all, top lads, top men, look after me, great trainers. I'd never had anything bad to say about them. Like, through no faults but my own, I wasn't in the shape going in there, because when I was working, I was going home, I was saying, I won't go to training tonight. I'll do a run, and then I'd go home, and then the run would come, and I'd be like, I'll do the run in the morning, and it just put on the back burner, and, but now, I'm in a good job. I'm in working in Intel, I find it really easy to come training after work. I know it's a real cliche, but it's because I love coming to this gym. I'm really happy. You know what I mean? And that's the God's honest truth about it. I love being over here with the lads. The competitiveness is backing me. It's a good gym. Anybody who knows Crumlin knows it's probably the best amateur club in Ireland. They've produced champion after champion. And as well with the pros down, you have the likes of Martin here every day working hard, pushes me. You have the likes of young Willow, top class, future champ, Don't need to say much about him, You have other people coming up from all over the country for sparring, So it has that little bit of bite about it. And instead of getting me a bit hungry again. So I'm only living across the road at the minute as well. I'm staying over at my girlfriend's most nights, So it's just easy, It's easy for me. I'd be here twice a day if I could, but most mornings I work. But I am getting here. I do get time off work, and look, it's working. I'm super fit. You're seeing a bit of the training session tonight. You're seeing the spar, and that's actually my first spar, this camp full spar. So I'm loving it, I'm working well. And I think I'm looking well, and that's the first time. As I said, I think I have my mojo back, a little bit.
Definitely, man. And as I said, the sparring looked really, really good. That's great to hear. How excited are you to actually fight again? You've boxed once in 4 years, like one actual fight in 4 years. How you seem really happy, and you're enjoying your training, as you said. So how excited are you to actually get in there and perform under the lights on an actual show? Yeah,
I'm absolutely buzzing, and I have to give Stephen and Leonard a lot of thanks for that, for giving me the opportunity to come back and to continue my dream, and to give me a bit of redemption and a bit of to have a bit of unfinished business, So I'm buzzing. I'm delighted. I'm actually delighted to be on the card with Martin, and Borky is on the card over our own gym, So there's three of us there. Phil will be over there hopefully now as well. I don't know, but it's a great vibe, because we're all trying to get up the same show, And I'm delighted, and I'm really looking forward to getting in and to showing boxing to my ability, with a full camp and a full a fit Jake Hanney, and a happy Jake Hanney, and I think I'm going to express myself in there, for the first time, rather than going in to fights, knowing deep down that you're probably only going to do 3-4 good rounds, and then hoping if you don't get them out, then you're going to be a bit suckered in the last few and stuff, It's not that sort of feeling, so I'm really confident and I'm really happy, How
many rounds is the fight coming up, actually?
As far as I know, the fight's going to be 4 rounder. But to be honest, I be able to do 6th round or 8th round now, I'd love, you know, but I know I'm not going to be, but it's a 4-rounder now, but there's plans in place now for after the show as well, and, you know,
Brilliant.
to do more rounds.
Excellent. I'll hopefully try and step up the levels and step up the rounds. So what are the goals now? I mean, as you said, you're 30, 31?
Yeah, 30, 29.
28. You're 30 now.
29 anyways, you know, that's me there. I did
So you're somewhere around 30 years of age.
Yeah.
You're kind of nobody really knows. There's a myth, there's a legend around these parts.
Don't go now with the wizard, because they're back down now with the wizard, you know.
So, you know, this is kind of almost a second coming maybe of Jake Hanney.
Yeah.
Really happy, second part of your career. You're 5-2 at the moment. What are your goals? Where are you looking to go, and how fast are you looking to progress?
To be honest, I feel like I haven't got much mileage as a pro, to be honest. True. I've had 7 fights. The first 4 I knocked out. And the other 2 went a few rounds, but I have low miles as a pro. So I think me and Stephen and Phil and Leonard have a little plan. I never really, as you said, when I come home, I stepped into big fights after breaks, you know. So we're going to have a couple of warm-up fights, a couple of tune-up fights, and then they're hoping to get an Irish title, you know. So whenever the lads feel I'm ready to go for an Irish title, that's what we want. That's the main goal. And then anything from there, we'll kick on and see what happens, you know.
Yeah. So there's no ceiling as such, or there's no particular title in mind. You're not thinking European world. You're just thinking, let me just get a few fights, let me aim for the Irish title, and then kind of see where I go.
Yeah, we're not going to look past that, you know. We're going to just take this fight now in Alicante. We're going to do the business. We're going to look good. Then we're going to come home, regroup, keep training. We're going to our second camp together. We'll start to improve. We'll see a lot more Phil's tactics coming out of me, where the training's progressing, you know. And then we think we have a date maybe September, you know, and then we might have another warm-up fight depending on what's on the table, and we'll go from there, you know.
Excellent. Small thing I've got to touch on now is just Tyrone McKenna, former opponent of yours. Talk to me a little bit about the fight that you had with him, and maybe just comment on how his career has kind of taken off really since he fought you, pretty much. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about that.
If I had a train, that would have been me. No. Look, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? Look, he's been brilliant. You know, he's took all hard fights, which is good. He's done well in every fight, you know. He's never been out of his depth. The Jack Catterall one was a big step up now, but he's never been out of his depth. He probably, arguably, beat O'Hara Davis, you know. Yeah. He should have probably won that golden contract, you know. So, number of praise. Look, it was a good fight between me and him. It was a barn buster, you know. Again, I was actually only home Australia. Where was he? Home Spain I was that time. And again, I was training in town. I was walking. I was probably only in it, to be honest, for the payday, you know what I mean. But showed up. And for the first 4 or 5 rounds, it was a barn buster, you know what I mean? Both of us got caught, both were busted up, like, you know what I mean? There was no one ahead of no one, you know? And I think it was a bad stoppage. There should never been stopped, you know? I was taking a breather. Like, there was people that was on that show that was knocked down twice, nearly out cold on the ground, and they were still allowed to go up that night, you know? Yeah. Then when I'm taking a breather, going round the ring, I was stopped, you know, but how never. Yeah. You know, I won't get into that. It still hurts a little bit now, that, you know, but...
Yeah, I can see. It's the most animated you've been.
Yeah, no, look, he's been brilliant, you know, he's taking hard fights and well for him, you know. I'd love to get in one day again with him. Let's mix up, because I'm sure he would as well. He loves a good dust up, you know, but we're going to focus on me just moving forward now and getting into a position maybe to fight someone like that and doing things like that. But all the best, and I think there's a fight coming up soon, so I hope the camp's going well, and all the best, you know. Yeah. Brilliant. Jake, is there any sponsors you want to shout out? Yeah, I'd just like to give a big shout out to O'Brien Roofing, one of my sponsors, and Amigo Fashion. If you aren't on this, people, go on it. It's on my Instagram page. All the stuff is absolutely tops, you know. And say thanks to the lads. Thanks very much. Well, look, Jake Hanney, thank you very much. Thanks very much, sir.